Well, welcome back to our CIS 110-111 video set, if you will. This brief video is about your syllabus. I'm going to take you through the syllabus very briefly. You can read it on your own. And again, this will be part of the initial quiz you take at the beginning of class. So let's take a look at the syllabus. Before we do that, let's bring up Blackboard. When you log into Blackboard, again for the CIS 110-111 classes, on the right you'll see your classes. To get to the syllabus, you will click on your class. Then you'll click on course information on the left. There'll be the course outline syllabus. And within that folder you'll see the syllabus document. And when you double click on that, assuming you have Word on your machine, you'll bring up the course syllabus, which looks a lot like this. So I've highlighted some of the key points. Again, you can read it more closely. So this syllabus was originally written for the CIS 111 L02 class, which is a seated class, but it pretty much is representative of the CIS 111 and 110 classes, which I'm also teaching. Right. For the 111 class, usually for purposes of credit reimbursement or course reimbursement, this is a 2-hour class. If this was a 110 syllabus, this would be a 3 credit hours class. Okay. There's my name again. I am located in the Wilkinson building, room 14, and I am on the Lee campus. And there's the address of the Lee campus. Okay. Course description: in this class you're going to be learning about computers in a very general manner, but a manner that will help you deal with computers, and mostly personal computers using Windows 7. You'll also be introduced to using Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Excel. That's in the 111 class. If you're taking the 110 class, you learn all those things. In addition to that, we give you some database introduction with Access, which is the Microsoft database class. And that's what all that says. And again, if we come down here, here is our book. It's a custom book. It's from Pearson Publishing. It's titled CIS 110-111, Central Carolina Community College, because it's specific to us. And there's the ISBN number. And as far as I know, I think you can only purchase that at our bookstore. But I could be wrong about that, so you could check with our bookstore. As far as the materials you need for this class, obviously you need the book. You need Microsoft Office 2010 to actually have access to Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. And if you're sitting in an in-class or a seated class, you'll need a USB flash drive. If you're not in a seated class, I assume you're on your own computer and you can save stuff to your own C drive. Okay. Again, if you're in a seated class and you miss 20% of the class hours, you can get dropped. And also, if you come into class 10 minutes late or you leave early, that's essentially missing 1 hour of class. So again, you're expected to be in class on time and stay there for the entire duration of the class. Here's the grading scale. You can look at that. That's consistent throughout the school. And here's the rubric for how your course gets graded. There's the orientation quiz, which you need to take during the first week of class. That's 2% of your grade. Tests and quizzes that apply to chapters 1 through 9 of your book are 23% of your grade. The assignments that are in chapters 10 through 22, which is the Microsoft part of your book, is 23%. The discussion board questions where you'll be writing is 26%. Class activities, which I will assign from time to time, 15%, and the final exams, and you'll be taking more than one, are 20%. For each section of the class, you take a final exam. So in other words, when we finish Word, Microsoft Word, you take a final exam in Word. When we finish Excel, you take one for that. And not PowerPoint, but when we finish the chapters 1 through 9 in your book, we have a final in that also. Notice here, that no late work will be accepted, and there's no exceptions for that. Okay. You may have a really good reason for being late, such as your internet went down on the day before you were going to submit it. That's really not a good excuse, because you should be working on your exams and you should be working on your assignments just as soon as they're assigned. You shouldn't be waiting for the last minute. Okay. Academic honesty, I'll let you read this, but again, you are expected to do your own work and turn in your own work, so you don't want to copy someone else's work and turn it in as your own. Okay. At the very least, you'll get a 0 for that, and you may get dropped from the class, and you may have to go see the Dean of Student Affairs and others. So again, make sure you read this. Make sure you do your own work. Again, it's not academic dishonesty if you ask someone for help and they give you a helping hand, but to copy their work right out and submit it is definitely plagiarism. Okay. If you're in a seated class, you're expected to turn off your cell phone so you're not impacting others with disturbances. Over here, notice, and it says this on the website, or the Blackboard website in several places, that we do not, well, you can submit your homework via Blackboard, but you can't submit it via email. I basically cannot grade it and keep track of your homework if you send it via email, so you don't want to do that. Okay. Again, when you upload documents into Blackboard, and we'll do a separate video on that, you want to make sure that you check that the document was uploaded, because again, it's not an excuse to say, I uploaded the document and I don't know why it's not there. When we have quizzes, whether they're in class or even distance classes, you have 15 minutes to complete the quiz, and usually those are the chapter 1 through 9 quizzes in your book. And if you're continuing to take the quiz and it's minute 51, the quiz will close and submit what you've done to date. Okay. Here is a tentative schedule. It tells you roughly what chapters we're in and what the assignments will be from now to December. And again, if you look at the top of this where I've highlighted it in yellow, this is tentative, so I reserve the right to change assignments and change due dates, but this gives you an idea of what we'll be doing and when. If you're taking a seated class, you're in here and you're in the computer labs, you're expected to be in the labs. There's a bunch of rules associated with this lab, which I'll let you read. The biggest ones being we don't eat in the lab. You can drink in the lab if your drink has a cover. All right. And if there's any problems with any computers in the lab, let me know right away, because if we don't report it, the IT department will not know to fix it. Okay, that's briefly the high points of this. Again, you want to go through this in more detail and spend a little bit more time on it when you get a minute, but those are the highlights and you know where to find it. So the next little video that I will do will be dealing with how to submit files in Blackboard. Thanks.